The shuttle descended through the lavender clouds of Velda Prime, engines humming softly above the arena, city spreading out in silver arcs below. Captain Arthur Hale watched through the viewport as platforms of alien architecture glowed with shifting holograms, each one bearing the flags of the great species of the Galactic Union. Earth's flag, a simple blue and green globe, flickered in the corner of the display, smaller than the rest. Arthur stepped onto the landing platform. Alien spectators lined the arrival deck, whispering as he passed. He wore no ceremonial armor, just dark fatigues, lightweight boots, and a single combat knife strapped to his thigh. Some pointed and laughed. Someone muttered in a clicking dialect, "That's Earth's elite? I expected armor. Or at least muscles." Arthur ignored them. He adjusted the duffel on his shoulder and walked toward the registration dome where tinted glass reflected the sky. His boots clicked quietly over polished stone while towering guards in obsidian battleplates scanned his ID. One of them, a Threxian with scaled blue skin, grinned, baring needle-like teeth. "Try not to die too quickly, human." Inside, alien commanders gathered beneath banners of their military divisions. Floating drones recorded everything for interstellar broadcast. At the center stood Commander Exorkin Drex of the Varkal Dominion. 7 feet tall, silver skin like burnished steel, crimson eyes unblinking. His armor, engraved with the emblems of conquered worlds, hissed slightly as it pressurized. When Arthur approached the presenting table, the chamber quieted. Exorkin turned. His voice echoed, low and metallic. "So this is Earth's champion. I expected someone taller." Arthur placed his ID chip on the scanner. "You'll find I'm enough." A ripple of laughter. A Zenth officer leaned against a pillar, amused. "Do humans always send one man? Or did your planet run out of soldiers?" Arthur met his gaze calmly. "One man is all you'll need to remember." Exorkin stepped closer, towering over him. "You participate in the war games tomorrow. Try not to embarrass yourself. Or your planet." Arthur leaned forward slightly. "I'm not here to impress you." For a brief second, silence dominated the hall. Then Exorkin's lip curled. "Enjoy your final night." Arthur walked away without reacting. The human delegation quarters were quieter, tucked behind reinforced glass walls. Inside a small metal room reserved for him, he placed his duffel on the bed and opened it. Beneath folded clothes lay matte black armor plates, neural interface bands, carbon fiber blades, and a compact rifle modified with non-standard ammunition, silent, precise, untraceable. His fingers brushed the dog tags hanging from the pack. Sergeant Williams. The name dragged a memory like a knife. Dust. Smoke. A devastated research outpost on Terra Nova. Bodies of civilians scattered across burning streets. Exorkin's troops had descended without warning, calling it a training exercise. Arthur and his unit arrived too late. Williams died covering a group of children. His final words faded beneath gunfire. "Show them what Earth does to monsters." Arthur closed his fist around the tags, breath steadying. He set them gently on the bedside table, then began assembling his gear, attaching forearm guards, adjusting shoulder plates, securing pulse dampeners. The armor absorbed sound, blending with shadow. Every piece held purpose. A soft chime interrupted him. The door slid open, revealing Ambassador Elaine Reeves, Earth's diplomatic representative. Silver hair tied back, eyes sharp behind spectacle lenses. "You caused a stir," she said, stepping inside. "They expected a parade. They expected fear," she replied. "Arthur, this isn't just about reputation. If we fail here, Earth loses its seat in the Defense Council. The Senate wants results." Arthur fastened the last strap on his gauntlet. "Then I'll give them results." Elaine hesitated. "Do you hate him that much?" Arthur didn't answer immediately. "It's not hate. It's clarity." She nodded slowly. "War games start at dawn. Try not to kill anyone important." When she left, Arthur slid the visor over his eyes. Tactical displays flickered to life, terrain maps, thermal grids, enemy squad lists. He memorized every route, every blind spot. Outside his window, the arena shimmered beneath the setting sun. Towers curved like blades toward the sky. Somewhere in one of those spires, Exorkin likely toasted his guaranteed victory with other commanders. Arthur sat on the edge of the bed, rolled his shoulders, and exhaled. Morning came pale and cold. Sirens announced the opening ceremony. Crowds flooded the stands encircling the war zone, a sprawling replica city with abandoned streets, shattered buildings, and hidden bunkers. Artificial clouds roiled above, masking surveillance drones. Arthur walked alone onto the metallic platform overlooking the combat field. Exorkin stood to his right with his elite soldiers, their armor gleaming in silver, red, and obsidian. Each carried plasma halberds or shock rifles. Arthur carried only his rifle and a single blade sheathed on his back. A Threxian announcer roared into the microphone, voice amplified across the arena. Citizens of the Union! Today, we begin the 143rd Galactic War Games. May skill decide honor! The crowd cheered. Exorkin raised his halberd. Glory to the Dominion! One of his lieutenants sneered at Arthur. Try not to cry, little human. Arthur leaned his rifle against his shoulder. Try not to blink. The starting horn blared. Bright warning lights flashed across the field. The war games had begun. Arthur stepped off the platform, boots meeting dirt. His visor scanned the ruins ahead. The enemy squad split, moving like armored shadows. He didn't rush. He walked into the misty streets with the calm of someone who had seen worse than death. Behind him, spectators laughed. Above, cameras zoomed in. Arthur disappeared from sight. Arthur moved through the fog-covered ruins with quiet precision, the arena's artificial dawn casting a faint silver over cracked streets and collapsed rooftops. His visor displayed motion trackers, heat signatures, wind patterns. Nothing distracted him. No cheers, no cameras, no alien mockery, only the mission. Far behind, alien spectators expected early humiliation. Instead, Arthur vanished from every screen. The first squad to search for him, 3 Varkal soldiers armed with shock rifles, swept through a broken marketplace. They found silence. A pebble rolled. One turned. Too late. Arthur dropped from a shattered balcony, boots landing silently behind the rearmost trooper. His arm locked around the alien's throat, cutting airflow. Before the others reacted, his knife slid across exposed armor joint seams. 2 bodies hit the ground with mechanical thuds. The third spun, rifle raised. A suppressed shot from Arthur's rifle struck his visor. The alien fell without a cry. From the command tower, Exorkin watched the feed freeze to static. Where did he go? A technician stammered. Your Excellency, he's jammed Sector C's sensors. Cameras are offline. How? Exorkin snapped. He's using analog tech, no digital trace. Exorkin's jaw tightened. Find him. Arthur dragged the bodies into a shadowed alley, covering tracks beneath debris. He checked their equipment, standard plasma cells, encrypted comms, thermal grenades. He took grenades and a comm band, tuning into enemy frequencies without broadcasting. Voices crackled, commands, warnings, laughter. They still underestimated him. He climbed a rusted fire escape, reaching a rooftop overlooking the plaza where the central power relay stood, a metallic tower threaded with energy conduits. Taking it out would force all teams to regroup. He calibrated his rifle, adjusted scope distance. Then everything changed. A violent tremor shook the ground. The sky flickered. Sirens blared across the arena. Unscheduled system breach, a robotic voice announced. Containment failure in Drone Vault 7. Arthur froze, listening. Static. Then gunfire, real gunfire, not simulated rounds. Explosions far beyond the arena perimeter. Spectators screamed. From the plaza below, armored doors burst open. Swarms of combat drones surged forward, hovering machines of black alloy and red optics, armed with plasma cannons. These weren't war game props. These were military-grade exterminators. The announcer's voice cracked with panic. All troops, retreat to safe zones. This is not a drill. Exorkin slammed his gauntlet on the console. Who authorized live drones? No one, Commander. The Threxian separatists. Someone hacked the vault systems. Before he finished, an explosion rocked the command tower. The screens went black. Arthur didn't hesitate. He leapt from the rooftop, landed, rolled, and sprinted toward the chaos. A Zent squad retreated, firing wildly. One trooper tripped. A drone descended, charging plasma. Arthur's shot pierced its sensor node. The machine collapsed before firing. The Zent soldier stared in disbelief. You human, why help us? Arthur loaded another round. You want to live or not? They followed without argument. Gunfire echoed through empty streets. Civilians behind energy shields cried out as drones battered barriers. Arthur led the Zent soldiers through alleys, avoiding direct confrontation. He scanned a holomap on his wrist display, power relay still intact. If drones reached it, they'd control automated turrets. We disable that relay, Arthur said. Then funnel drones into choke points and destroy them. The Zent sergeant hesitated. We were ordered to fall back. Arthur stared. Orders won't matter when you're dead. The sergeant nodded once. Lead. They advanced. One drone hovered near a vending stall, sensors searching. Arthur gestured. They ducked behind rubble. He pulled a thermal grenade, activated silent mode, tossed it. The grenade rolled beneath the drone, beeped, and detonated with a pulse of electromagnetic heat. Circuits fried. The drone dropped. They pushed ahead. Exorkin and his elite squad arrived on a parallel street. He saw the human fighting, not hiding, not fleeing, directing alien soldiers with precision. For a second, Exorkin hesitated. Then pride stiffened him. To me! He roared. We take the relay! Arthur heard the voice through hacked comms. He smirked. About time you joined the party. The relay tower stood in the plaza, surrounded by drones. Plasma fire rained from rooftops. Arthur slid behind a burnt-out transport. Grenades on my mark. Aim for ground. Shockwaves, not kills. The Zent sergeant signaled his men. Arthur rolled from cover, sprinted forward, threw 2 grenades simultaneously. They exploded with white arcs, crippling 3 drones. Exorkin's squad charged from the opposite side, weapons blazing. Silver armor clashed against black alloy and flame. A drone lunged toward Exorkin, spinning its saw arm. He blocked with his halberd but stumbled. Before it struck again, a shot tore through its core. The machine fell. Exorkin turned. Arthur lowered his rifle. You're welcome. Exorkin's eyes narrowed. This isn't over. Later, Arthur said. Relay first. They fought side by side without speaking. Arthur breached the control panel beneath heavy fire, fingers flying across manual overrides. Sparks showered. The tower's lights dimmed. Automated turrets shut down, preventing drones from escalating control. Relay down! Arthur shouted. Exorkin gutted a drone with his halberd, metal shrieking. Fall back to the defense line! Arthur placed a hand on his communicator. No. We hold this position. Exorkin glared. You don't command my soldiers. Then watch them die retreating. The Varkal commander paused. Plasma blasts scorched the ground around them. He looked beyond, more drones swarming, civilians trapped behind failing shields. He gave a sharp nod. We hold. The plaza became a fortress. Arthur coordinated barricades, sniper nests, overlapping fire zones. Aliens obeyed without question. The sky burned with drone fire. Smoke curled above shattered statues. During a pause, Exorkin approached. Blood streaked his chin. Why fight for those who mock you? Arthur reloaded calmly. Respect isn't given. It's earned. Exorkin studied him. Perhaps you are not as weak as your world. Arthur looked at the horizon where more drones appeared like a black storm. You haven't seen anything yet. The next wave descended. And the human didn't flinch. Smoke drifted above the plaza like a dark veil as the last wave of drones fell silent. Their metal shells lay scattered between broken pillars and scorched ground. Alien soldiers stood wounded, exhausted, but alive. Some stared at Arthur as though seeing him for the first time, not as a target of mockery, but as a commander who saved them. Arthur wiped dust from his visor and surveyed the area. Shield generators protecting civilians hummed weakly, energy nearly depleted. He exhaled once. They had survived. Commander Exorkin approached, limping slightly, dented armor hissing from damaged joints. Crimson eyes narrowed on the battlefield, then settled on Arthur. "We won because of you." Arthur gave a curt nod. "Not one. Just breathing." Exorkin's jaw tightened. He glanced at the soldiers watching them. "Honor demands we settle this. You and I, duel. No interruptions." Arthur met his gaze. "Now? You saved lives. That earns respect," Exorkin said. "But I must know if you stand on skill or luck." Arthur's rifle hung from his shoulder. "Fine." The plaza was cleared. Spectators gathered behind repaired barriers. Emergency drones lit the arena with cold blue light. Word spread across Velda Prime. Human versus Varco Commander live. No war game simulation. Real steel. Real blood. Arthur removed his damaged visor and set his rifle aside. He kept only his combat knife and a compact baton clipped to his belt. Exorkin stepped forward fully armored, halberd crackling with plasma. The size difference was stark, a towering alien warlord against a lone human in light gear. A Varco officer raised his arm. "Begin." Exorkin lunged. His halberd arced downward, slicing air with a roar of charged energy. Arthur sidestepped, movements sharp and controlled. The blade smashed into stone, carving molten grooves. Arthur countered with a baton strike to the armor's joint. Sparks flew, but the metal held. Exorkin snarled and swung again, relentless. Arthur stayed just out of reach, feet light, analyzing rhythm, pattern, weight distribution. The alien fought like a storm, devastating but predictable. Exorkin growled. "Fight back, human!" Arthur ducked under another blow. "You're making it too easy." He rolled left, drew his knife, and slashed at the power cables lining Exorkin's lower armor. A sharp hiss followed, hydraulics strained. The crowd gasped. Exorkin pivoted, halberd igniting brighter. Rage fueled him. He swung horizontally. Arthur dropped flat, the blade passed inches above. He kicked Exorkin's knee from behind. Metal buckled. The giant stumbled. Arthur backed away, chest heaving. His forearm bled from a glancing strike. He ignored the pain. Exorkin rose, breathing harder. "You hide behind tricks." Arthur's eyes hardened. "You hide behind armor." Exorkin charged with a roar. Arthur waited until the last possible second, then grabbed a smoke charge from his belt and detonated it at their feet. Gray mist exploded between them. Vision vanished. Inside the haze, Arthur moved silently. He slid behind Exorkin, jumped onto his back, and jammed the EMP baton into the main power core at the spine. The baton pulsed. Blue light surged across the armor. Exorkin roared as systems failed. The halberd flickered. Armor lights died one by one. He fell to one knee, gasping, muscles straining against dead weight. Arthur landed in front of him, knife at his throat. Silence consumed the crowd. No one breathed. Exorkin's eyes met Arthur's. No fear. Only realization. "Will you end it?" Arthur's hand tightened around the knife. He remembered William's voice. Burning streets. Innocent blood. He stepped back and lowered the blade. "No," he said quietly. "This isn't murder. It's a message." Exorkin looked stunned. Arthur continued, voice steady. "Earth doesn't need to prove cruelty. Only strength." The arena remained still. Then, slowly, Exorkin rose. Without armor whirring, he stood only on his own power. He struck his fist across his chest in a Varco warrior's salute. "Arthur Hale of Earth." he said, voice carrying across the plaza. Today, I witnessed a soldier worthy of respect. Shock rippled through the spectators. Aliens bowed their heads. Some pounded their chests in salute. Arthur offered no bow. Just a nod. Ambassador Elaine Reeves pushed through the crowd, breathless. Arthur, are you? Fine, he said. Above them, hollow screens lit up with a broadcast from the Galactic Council. A stern-faced Threxian chancellor spoke. The actions of Captain Arthur Hale have prevented catastrophic loss of life. Effective immediately, Earth is granted full Defense Council membership. Cheers erupted, not only from humans but from soldiers of several species who just hours earlier mocked him. Exorkin turned to his troops. Remember this day. A human fought beside us, saved us, and refused to kill when victory was his. He looked back at Arthur. The Union will speak his name for generations. Arthur didn't smile. He simply turned toward the medic station, exhausted. Elaine walked beside him. You changed everything, she whispered. Arthur glanced at the battlefield, smoke still curling around broken walls. Let's hope it was worth it. Hours later, the sun set behind the arena's spires. Arthur stood alone on the quiet balcony of the human quarters. Distant lights shimmered above the city like stars underwater. He held Sergeant William's dog tags in his palm. It's done, he murmured. Behind him, a low metallic voice spoke. Ghost. Arthur turned. Exorkin stood in the doorway, no armor, just simple combat cloth. You could have killed me. Arthur pocketed the tags. Didn't need to. Exorkin stepped beside him, looking at the horizon. I thought humans were fragile. Weak. You proved me wrong. Arthur exhaled. We're not perfect. But we don't break easily. Exorkin nodded once. If war comes, I will fight beside you. Arthur looked at him. For the first time, there was no hostility between them, only an unspoken understanding forged in smoke and blood. Let's hope it never comes, Arthur said. They stood in silence as lights of Veldar Prime flickered below, marking the day the galaxy stopped laughing at Earth.